Okay. Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good good evening, everyone. So we are going to present about Opera Limited. We are from Group 4, and here are the list of the members. There's Adam Fadlurrahman Rizaldy, Andika Maulana Somantri, dari Ulhaq Admiral, Mawhibah Hasan Almas, me Mochammad Fachriza, and also Silfi Anggia Putri. Okay, to the next slide, please. Okay, so I'm going to present about the company profile. So Opera is a Chinese Norwegian multinational technology company, which is one of the world's leading browser providers and an influential player in the field of integrated AI-driven digital content discovery and recommendation platforms. Okay, to the next slide.
So this slide, we will present about the vision, missions, and long-term goals about the Opera itself. For the visions, we built Opera by bringing together exceptional international teams of developers, code researchers, marketers, and support, who are all complete to build the best online experience on any device and to build an audience of empowered and trailed users worldwide. And this vision is included for the four aspects, which are graphic, directional, flexible, and desirable. And for the missions, our mission is to enable internet users around the globe to discover digital content and services in a fast, easy, and personalized manner. Given the growing importance of online content consumptions, future of digital contents, and enabled by AI algorithm and big data. And for the long term, Opera long-term goal is to enable global internet users to discover and access digital contents and services in a fast, easy, and personalized manner. And for the long-term goals is categorized for the 2 points, which are specific and achievable. Next slide, please. So in this slide, we will discuss about the politics, economy, and social forces. For the politics itself, we take the example of political stability of the opera itself. And the Opera Limited is currently present in a number of nations, each of which has its own set of political problems. Growing tensions and instability in the global political climate may have an impact on the gold industry growth and limit Opera Limited growth potential. And for the social forces, we take the example of demographic itself. For multinational commercial companies like Opera Limited, changes in demographic patterns such as populations, aging, migrations, trends, and socioeconomic variables are critical. Is it critical for Opera Limited to comprehend the general public's opinions regarding migrations, as this can have an impact on companies' ability to bring international executive to the host country. For the economical, there are economic cycle stage, inflations, and economic structures. And next is 5 forces factors. For the first is threats of new entrants. Economic of scales are difficult to achieve in the industry in which Opera Limited operates. This makes it easier for large capacity firms to have a cost advantage. It also raises the production cost for new entrants. As a result, the threats posed by new entrants become less potential. And for the number 2 is bargaining power of suppliers. In the industry in which Opera Limits operate, they are often more provider than buyers. This means that suppliers have less pricing control, making suppliers bargaining leverage a weak force. And for number 3 is bargaining power of buyers. The number of suppliers in the industry in which Opera Limited operates is a lot more than the number of the firms producing the product. This means that the buyer have a few firms to choose from, and therefore do not have much control over prices. This makes the bargaining power of buyer a weaker forces with the industry. And number 4 is threat of substitute product or services. There are very few substitutes available for the product that are produced in the industry in which Opera Limited operates. That very few substitutes that are available are also produced by low profit earning industry. And for the last is rival among existing firma. The number of competitors in the industry in which Opera Limited operates are very few. Most of these are also large in size. This means that firms in the industry will not make move without being unnoticed. This makes the rival among existing firms a weaker force within the industry. That's all from me. Next slide will be presented by Riza. Riza, time is yours.
All right, thank you, Mao. So here I will show the FM matrix, EFM matrix, and also the competitive profile matrix of Opera. So as we can see here, there are the key external factors, the key internal factors, and also we have made the competitive profile matrix against the competitors of Opera itself. As we can see that there's the rating, and also the weight score. So for the EV matrix, the total is 2.91 for the weighted score. The EV matrix has total of 2.46 weighted score. And then also there's the competitive profile matrix, which we compare Opera with their competitors such as Yahoo and also Google. So that is the FM matrix, EV matrix, and also the competitive profile matrix of Opera. So the next slide will be presented by Adam. Adam, time's yours.
Okay, thank you, Reza. In this chapter 4, I will present about internal audit. So there is research and development. The strength is Opera in developing a feature that its interface looks clean and a good effort to adjust the product development for the convenience of use for user. The weakness in terms of capturing screenation, Opera research and development has not used a system that can take picture for the entire screen. It's a bit annoying for the user. And next, we have financial and accounting. Financial accounting is one of the main aspects in the functional area because it will provide the managers with information that is needed to make a decision about the allocation of the company resource. The strength is Opera Limited has a strong financial position. Opera Limited has been able to earn good return on the capital expenditure it has made on various projects. Opera Limited has a strong asset base. The weakness, the current ratio that shows the company ability to meet its short-term financial obligation. The company current assets are low in comparison to its current liability, which could cause liquidity issue in its operation. At Opera Limited, there is a lack of appropriate cash flow financial planning, resulting in situation where there isn't enough cash flow as required. Next, management. The process of guiding the development, maintenance, and allocation of resource in order to achieve organizational goal is known as management. Managers are the person in charge of designing and implementing this management process in the organization. Management is dynamic by nature, evolving to suit the organization internal and external demands and limits. The strength of management is Opera is putting a lot of emphasis on using statistics to help business make better decisions. At Opera, horizontally integrated teams are speeding up operation, increasing agility, and keeping the organization nimble enough to compete with new competitors. Opera has a reputation for sticking to its project deadline. For the weakness, from the outside, it appears like Opera personnel lack a true understanding of the company's strategy. Because automation is rapidly developing in the software and programming industry. Opera management structure is controlled by functional specialist Opera like other participants in the software and programming business. Next, marketing. Marketing is the activity collection of institution and procedure for developing, conveying, delivering, and exchanging value-added solution for consumer, client, partner, and society at large. The strength partner with Google My Business, conducting volunteering activities and marketing to small towns and roadshows. Opera provides Opera ads. For the weakness, With less presence in physical market, customer cannot try to the product offline to make sure the quality of its goods. Opera marketing is so dependent on technology that is very prone to technical error. Next, management information system. Management information system is the use of information technology, people, and business process to record, store, and process data to procedure information that decision makers can use to make day-to-day decision. The strength for management information system is Opera Limited has a well-established IT system that ensure efficiency in its internal and external operation. Opera Limited has a well-functioning and interactive website that draws a large number of internet traffic and sales. For the weak as MIS contain highly sensitive information about an organization which can be used for fraudulent activity. Constant monitoring and filtering is required to avoid manipulation of data by fraudster causing harm to business. Next, we have production and operation. Production operation management is defined as the process which transforms the input resource of an organization into final goods or service through a set of defined control and repeatable policies. The strength, various stage of production have allowed the more efficient use of resource and reduce costs. Opera Limited has a diversified workforce with people of many geographical, racial, cultural, and educational background that help the company by bringing in diverse ideas and methodologies of doing things. Opera Limited has a well-established IT system that ensure efficiency in its internal and external operation. For the weakness, Opera Limited has a lower budget for its quality control department that competitors' trade barriers have been reduced on the import of goods. The decision making is highly centralized and decisions by teams need to be approved by certain official. That's all for the chapter 4. I will present about chapter 5, strategy and action. Corporate level strategy. Opera is implementing the horizontal integration strategy, which can be seen as Opera launched its product called Opera for Business, and they are having partnership with Google My Business, which the goal of Opera for Business is to empower the customer to discover their local business by improving the business online visibility. Opera is also doing an investment on Starter Maker app, which is a growing music-oriented application. As the intention of the investment is to complement one of their platform, which is Opera News, to continue their product innovation to leverage both company. The next defensive strategic defensive Opera is one the target on keyword within advertising campaign. This strategy is often overlooked by many viewers and also users because they feel they don't need to see another advertisement and reduce the time. Okay, that's all for me.
Right, so now I'm going to explain the chapter 6. The next slide. Okay, so like I said, so this is like the input stage where the input stage we have this competitive profile metrics. So like I said that we've compared Opera with other competitors of Opera such as Mozilla and also Chrome. So here are the competitive profile metrics, which we can see from the three of those company that Mozilla has the highest competitive profile metrics. The second one is Chrome, and then also the third is Opera. Next slide. Okay, here are this SWOT or SWOT metrics of Opera. So the first one has the strengths of Opera, which is Opera has a strong distribution network with a large number of outputs, and then it has also a low cost structure. It has a strong financial position. It has a skilled labor, and it has a strong presence on social media. The weaknesses of Opera is low amounts of spending. It has also a high employee turnover rate. It has the liquidity problem also. There are also the opportunities of Opera, such as the use of the social media, and also like the household can be the opportunity for Opera also, and then also like the internet user also can be the opportunities. So we are now we compare those strength and weaknesses with the SO strategies and also the WO strategies, and also the threats. There are also threats, whereas the threats of new entrants, and then also the exchange rate, the fuel price, the competition within the industry, and also there are more substitute product. So we also compare the ST, or the strength and threat, and also the WT, which is the weaknesses and also the threats. Okay, then the next slide. Okay, so the chapter here are the chapter 7. Chapter 7 will be presented by Dhari.
Really.
Dhari, time is yours.
Thank you, Riza. Um, I'm going to explain about chapter 7, which is strategy implementing of the existing strategy. And first, we have management. The management strategy of Opera is focusing on building team and building a way of working, which Opera focuses on teamwork rather than individual work, and they're being ambitious with their team and they focus on work quickly and have to adapt with the needs of what the customer wants from their product. And for the operation, Opera has been operating for about 25 years, with their headquarters located in Oslo, Norway, and they are focusing on expanding their operation globally. Opera was built by bringing together exceptional international teams of developers, coders, researchers, marketers, and support, who are all compelled to build the best online experience on any device and to build an audience of empowered, enthralled users worldwide. For the marketing, Opera's marketing strategy is currently focusing on providing their high quality product, which their product mainly is a web browser, and they are focusing on providing a high quality product by improving the quality of its product and also provide a pricing strategy such as premium pricing. Opera Limited developed good brand and product perception among target consumers group by adopting premium pricing for several of its product lines. For the finance, Opera increasing per product per user monetization is a critical component of Opera revenue goals. Opera plans to improve its ad technology capabilities, expand monetization option on emerging products like Opera News, and continue to maximize monetization of both mobile and desktop browsers. And for the research and development, Opera is currently developing their new product that focuses on e-commerce, gaming, and other areas in order to compete with their competitor and to build their reputation. Several lineups of the product of Opera are new, such as Game Maker, Lumi, Defy, and Hyped. And for the chapter 8, we're going to talk about strategy evaluation. For the management, in management at Opera Limited, a management strategy that focuses on team building and building a way of working must be continuous between team and individual work. This is based on ambitious behavior that allows them to be in a hurry so that the work is not optimal. For the operation, in response to competition and in order to grow or maintain the amount of transaction facilitated to borrowers, we may have to offer lower initiation fees, which could materially and adversely affect our business and result of operations. If we are unable to compete with such companies and meet the need for innovation in our industry, the demand for our credit product could stagnate or substantially decline, which could harm our business and result of operations. For the marketing, they started selling advertising on browser's homepage as one of the marketing tactics they provide clients. Opera changed its whole user interface and home screen layout in 2016 to compete with Firefox and Chrome browsers. Oprah just launched their new Oprah programmatic advertising platform as part of marketing campaign to attract more customers. For the finance, our cash and cash equivalents are primarily denominated in US dollars, with limited amount held in euro, Norwegian krone, and other local currencies of the market where we operate. We intend to finance our future working capital requirements and capital expenditures primarily from cash generated from operating activities as well as existing cash and cash equivalents. We believe that our current available cash and cash equivalents will be sufficient to meet our working capital requirements and capital expenditures in the ordinary course of business for the next 12 months. For the research and development, we use open source software in some of our applications, including our Opera browsers, which incorporate Chromium browser technology, and we will use open source software in the future. We are supportive of the open source community, and we regularly contribute source code to open source software project and release internal software project under open source license and anticipate continue to do in the future. For the management information system, it's important for Opera managers to evaluate the performance of various strategies after the implementation phase. Strategy evaluation involves three crucial activities that MIS team at Opera Limited have to do, which are reviewing the internal and external factors affecting the implementation of these strategies, measuring performance, and taking corrective steps. For the contingency planning, we rolled our app-based microfinance service in late 2018, offering instant short-term microloans to approved borrowers under the Okash and other local brands. Initially in Kenya and subsequently expanding to India and Nigeria. Our apps are intended to simplify borrowing and provide high-demand service, new convenience, and easy to use. We plan to expand our microfinance offerings to additional markets and broaden our fintech product offerings. For the balanced scorecard, Opera Limited may use internal methods to develop scorecards. For instance, they may conduct customer service surveys to identify the success and failures of our product and services, or we can hire external firms to do the work for us. JD Power is an example of one such firm that is hired by companies to conduct research on their behalf. For the next slide will be continued by Silfi. Time is yours.
Thank you, Dhari. So for the chapter 9 is social responsibility. First is business ethics. Opera code of conduct and business ethics are applied to all of the direction officer, employee of the Opera group. There are several code of business conduct and ethics that Opera implies, which are first is policy against retaliation. Opera group prohibits any kind of relation against an employee who seeks aid or reports know or suspect in good faith. Any relation or reprisal against an employee who sought aid or submit a report in good faith will result in disciplinary action, including possible termination of employee. Second is waiver of the code. Only an executive officer of Opera Group or the General Counsel has the authority to waive this code for workers. Any waiver of this code for Opera Group's direction, executive officer, General Counsel, or others, principal financial official may only be granted by our board of direction or the appropriate committee of our board of direction and will be made public as required by law or stock market rules. And the second is social responsibility policy. Opera Group are devoted to company standards and have embodied corporate social responsibility at Opera Limited. Our beliefs are anchored on service integrity and taking personal responsibility for our action, outcome, reputation, and we have assembled an international team of developers, programmers, researchers, marketers, and support. Opera Group corporate social responsibility commitments are built around four critical areas. First is employee and people. We take our obligation to protect, support, and prepare workers for successful career, as well as to advocate on their behalf very seriously. For example, in areas such as workplace safety, health and wellness, diversity and inclusion, and training and development. We believe in equal opportunity and consistent in our commitment to equal employment opportunity and human rights protection. And then ethics. Opera Group is committed to doing the right thing, to acting in a lawful, ethical, and trustworthy manner, to meeting our regulatory requirement, and to adhering to both the world and spirit for our business standard. That's all from me. Next slide will be presented by Andika.
Okay, thank you, Silfi. So next, chapter 10, we are going to discuss about internationalizations of the company. First topic is about assisting internationalizations program. In implementing the internationalizations program, Opera Ltd carried out several activities through a culture fair, a culture seminar, and a recognitions program where this activity provides an award to the relevant work unit in its implementations. Next topic, we are going to discuss about evaluations of internationalizations target market. Key among this is the sections of the countries for international expansions, commonly referred to as international market selections or IMS, which is part of the early stage in the internationalizations process of a firms. Last topic, we are going to discuss about recommendations for internationalizations target market in the next 5 years. We recommend maintaining a balance between the family side and the professionalism side. Therefore, in order to get reciprocity and be able to fulfill a larger collective, the next recommendations is that this activity should be take and give. The aim is to increase the comfort of each individual in the company and also to increase the sense of belonging of the company's employee so that the organization value can be applied in related company. Next, please. All right. That's all from us. Thank you for your attentions. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.